Hello and welcome to part 3 on my tutorial on how to paint Hive Fleet Kraken. And at this part I'm going to be painting the carapace in Mephiston Red. And it's a very nice base coat. It's a dark red, at least slightly darker than the blood red. So I watered down the paint. You don't have to. It's just a personal preference thing. I just chose to because I wanted to paint it in layers. You honestly don't have to, by the way, so just don't forget that. And here I go. Just applying the paint. It's got kind of more of a wash consistency just based on how much I watered it down. But that's okay. That's why I'm using it in 3 layers for this. And again, like I just said, you can either water it down like I did and paint in layers, or you can just go ahead and just say the heck with it and just dip straight out of the bottle or straight out of the little canister or whatever you want to call it and just paint directly onto the model. So looking at how I'm doing this, I just have my fine detail brush, and when you do water these paints down like this, they are incredibly easy to apply. Basically all I have to do is just kind of push the watered down paint in the direction in which I want it to go, and it just goes. And also I have the benefit of a increased drying time, so I have a lot more time to kind of work the paint around to make sure it's nice and even on all the faces. So that's one benefit that I get from doing it like this, as you can see. And also based on the type of paint that it is, it being that it is a paint, it tends to dry faster than most washes do. Actually a lot faster, and you'll notice in the next part how the paint that I had just watered down in my dish is actually the same paint that I had in the first part. So yes, there it is. That's what it looks like. Now we'll begin doing the second part. And here we are again, back with the second part on doing the carapace. And I do end up skipping the third just so I don't end up wasting too much of your time, hopefully. And here I go, just like the last time, taking the paint just taking the paint, pushing it around, just being careful not to get it onto the model. That's the biggest concern, is making sure you don't get red paint on your model. And well, just my luck, I do end up getting paint on the model, right on his head and on his kind of the left side of his head. But that comes a little later. I'll probably try to point it out to you when I make that mistake. So, but in any case, I'm not being careful. I'm not painting underneath the carapace, since honestly no one sees down under these things. So on a little model like this, I'm just not going to take the time to do it. It's a waste of my time, really, because they're going to be looking down at it and they're just going to see nice red carapace, which is what we want. So that's that. I'm going to go and look at some pictures. And here's what it looks like with the third layer of red, the Mephiston Red on the carapace. And I also painted the little plate on his head kind of at the last minute, and you can kind of assume what I did to paint it. Just doing the same thing I did on the other parts of the on the other carapace parts. So then we're going to move on to just kind of a back view of the model. And here's the back view, like I said. Nothing really overly exciting about this at this point. I would like to mention that I did make a kind of a grammar error per se on a little earlier when I was saying about getting red paint on the model. Well, actually you do want red paint, but on the carapace only. Don't get red paint on your skin. It's very bright and it shows up, and it just kind of ruins it.